Well, now, we're joined by the former Security and Counter-Terrorism Minister, Lord West. Lord West, let's face it, we have been in a Muslim battlefield for 12 years.
Probably slightly longer.
Rather
actually,
longer.
yes.
But the fact is that this is the first killing of a British soldier by jihadists on the mainland in our history.
Yes, that's true. We've had an attempt. We had attempts.
We had the attempt in Birmingham.
In Birmingham, that case in Birmingham. We know that that's something that they, on a number of sites, they've talked about doing and said they might try and do something.
But when one comes to the security services, this is the worst nightmare. That in some way, indigenous, and these two boys appear to be indigenous. They speak with South London accents because we've heard them on film. That suggests homegrown, and that's alarming.
Well, of course, and the people who attacked us with bombs were homegrown as well. I mean, there's no doubt one of the sadnesses is we have in our nation, we have British people who actually wish to do harm to our society, and these sound as though they're exactly the same. We had a concern after the Mumbai attacks that the sort of attacks that might start happening would be people with guns or weapons on the streets. Very difficult to actually guard against that, rather than people with bombs and large-scale attacks. And this is terribly difficult to guard against. But our servicemen have been at threat before, and if you remember...
But it should be reasonably easy to determine whether this is a small, tiny, local group of really disaffected and unhappy men, or whether we're talking about something which has a national implication.
Yes, I mean, with the meeting at Cobra, which after all, it's an exciting name, but it's only the Cabinet Office Briefing Room A. But it's got all the sources. You would have been in there,
wouldn't you? And your counterpart is now there.
Absolutely, getting all of the feed in from everywhere. They'll want to know, were these people on the list of over 2,000 people that the security service is looking at all the time? You know, what are their connections? Who are they involved with? Are they just two people who decided to go and do this? And of course, self-starters, people who just do things with two or one, are very difficult for us to monitor. But I think the other sorts of things they'll be thinking about is, do we need to raise our threat level if it's broader? I think probably not, actually. But we forget sometimes, you know, our threat level is substantial. You know, so an attack could happen at any time. We forget that. That's the underlying threat within this country.
So the context is unsurprised, but the event is shocking.
I think that it is a shocking and horrible event. And of course, provisional IRA used to kill our servicemen in uniform. There was a whole issue of not wearing uniform. My view always was rather, if I was going to have to die, I'd rather die in my uniform than not in it. But there have to be decisions about what to wear and things like that.
Lord West, thank you very much indeed for coming in. Kathy.
Thanks.